All right. What's up, Hugh? Let me get situated here right quick. There we go. What's up, Tony? Paul? Get my chat lined up and how's everybody doing? I hadn't done a stream in a bit, and I figured I would working on a little something, and it may not be that long, but I may make a liar out of myself and go too long, more than I want, but we'll just see how it all works out. What's up, Will? All right. So, what in one of my other videos we did with the not stream, can't even think of this evening, right? With the dimmer, it's I noticed I was talking with Lynn. I don't know if Lynn's in here yet, and talking with Lynn, he bought a couple of them. Oh, you're talking about the is it WAGO or WAGO? So yeah, I finally did. Stream is stuck spinning. Shows green over here, so yeah, Will. I finally did. I was holding out on them, and so I bought the 3 and the 5. Yeah, so I got a box of the three wides, and I got a box of the 5 wides. I don't think I'm gonna go do the 2 wides. The 2, that's so simple with the just regular wired nuts. But I've used the 5 in one box that had a lot going on, and man, it makes life so much simpler. And I kick myself for not doing them beforehand, and it's safer, and it just the wires lay flat in the box. Once you put them all in that once you put them on the especially the 5. Let me get one. Especially the 5, because once you put the, like, say 5 wires in it, you've got several things going on. You can just slide that in the back of the box, and it makes life so much easier. And I know I've had some other people say, "Hey, pick those up, get those. You should get those." And I'm like, man, they're kind of expensive to put, just have in a electrical box. Considering, they're not that expensive, but just they're expensive compared to the, cheap little wire nuts that don't cost almost anything. Lost audio. I'm seeing the audio still. And if you're just the one seeing that. Okay. All right, Chris. I appreciate it. Because I have had issues with a previous computer with audio, but I keep an eye on the little audio bars. So so I was talking with Lynn, and it's just a brand of it, that Treatlife. Lewis, those are the WAGO 221s, and there's the WAGO 221s, and Springtime Buzzgut. Oh, okay. I must be talking to somebody else. Hang on one second. Let's see. WAGO 221. Yeah, because I used them in that previous video I was doing, and they made it so much easier. Even though we had a decent little box to do things in, and it just made things pretty simple to do. So there's the, if you're curious to see, and they've got a pretty cool video on them. If you just go actually from the manufacturer, search for that WAGO. It's WAGO 221. If you search for that on YouTube, that the manufacturer has a cool little video with some good animations and allows like all different size wires to go in, and but they're pretty cool. So for the RGB lights in Tasmota, is there a specific set option I can use just so HA retains the light state and will update the light on a restart? Are you talking about the light color and dimming, or just the light state? That, because basically what you're wanting to do on the lights, you are going to want to use the power retain 1 option in Tasmota, or power retain on, and that's going to keep a retain message of the power state. But then also you'll lose the dimming state. And I've posted a couple of times in Discord and for different people the automation that when you start up Home Assistant, it'll poll like all the Sonoff's group. It'll poll them all and say what's the relay state of like up to like 5 relays, and also in that command, and I put in there to send the dimmer command. And so any device that has dimming will also send back its dimming value, so that will update in Home Assistant. So I'm thinking the color, I don't have to look at that. The color may show on the reboot, but may not with that command. I'm not sure. Unstoppable. I've sent. Let's see. Yeah, let me see if I can pull up the automation what I'm talking about here on my little development copy of. I'll bring it to the other side here in a second. Let's see. Let's see, y'all get me distracted already before I even start the project that I was going to do for Lynn. 1 second. Automations. Let me switch. Oh, okay. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, definitely squirrel. So there's the automation that I use in Home Assistant to run during a restart. And so it sends, now of course if you've changed what I showed in that last video, if I changed the group topic, but your default group topic should be Sonos. But if you do change your group topics, for some other, you want to group something, I would copy and paste this and do like another command to send to that group topic as well. But the status 2, you don't need that one. That one's status 2 I was doing because I pulled the firmware versions. I pull those out into some sensors in Home Assistant. But power basically just sends a power 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you should do also a dimmer one, which I need to save that. And so what that'll do is that'll just basically pull all your stuff, and it'll just force all those devices to talk back to Home Assistant after a restart, and it'll update all your stuff automatically. I can copy. I'll copy that out to. Let's see. We'll copy that out to. I'll copy that to the live stream one on Dr. Z's. 1, 2, 3. Shift Enter and 2, 3. All right. That way you don't have to type all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna wrap if I do that. We'll try it. But I posted it in the yeah, look, there's too many characters as well. I posted it in the Discord on Dr. Z's, but and it kept the formatting. So, but I'll post it in pieces for documentation purposes, right? All right. So it's all chewed up, but it's for documentation purpose. You want the one that's in lined up, go to the live stream. And so going back with Lynn, I did pick one up as well, so because I showed it in the end of that testing dimmer video, was that the Treatlife dimmer. I got another one. Let me switch back. The Treatlife one, which is this one here, it looks kind of like that first one I did. Shoot, probably way back, October or something, when I first started, like the very first video. And I know it was under a couple different names. Like it first was like under that Oidum. Then there was Moe's, a couple other different. Of course, you know, they're just rebranded stuff. And they did, remember, it wouldn't fit in the faceplate correctly because they had that rounded, I don't even want to call it Decora because it's not really that. It was rounded Decora. And you had to, I've got one actually installed in the switch behind me and on some lights. But I had to take a Dremel and carefully curve out all the corners to make it fit. So on this one, and they call it the Treatlife brand, and let's see, Treatlife Dimmer. Yep. So, well, I guess sold by Treatlife. I don't know if it's actually called the Treatlife Dimmer, but it's that dimmer there, and it's pretty cool that they did finally make it where it fits the regular faceplate, so it's squared off. It does fit Decora, and they did also put that metal heatsink on the back. But there's a problem with I don't have the other one hooked up. There's a problem with it uses the Tuya dimmer component just fine in Tasmota. You just have to change to 2 of the pins because it's not regular RX and TX pins, but you just change them in Tasmota. It's real simple. But Lynn noticed, and I noticed it after the video as well, that because I hadn't installed it, and let's see, there you go. And if I did miss some messages back in the chat, and y'all may have to repost them, but I noticed the red LED would turn on like every 10 seconds for a couple seconds, then turn off every few seconds. And I looked at a few, and it's much like it was in. I don't know if you've done on the regular Tuya, you've actually in one of the pairing modes. You know how you hold down for like 5 seconds, and then if you hold it down 5 seconds more after that, it'll start going to a slow blink mode. You can do the AP mode, which is actually, it'll make an access point and you connect to it that way. And well, it was flickering that red light like it was an AP mode. And I don't know if the chat stopped working for me or not. So unless somebody didn't say anything, y'all just being quiet listening. So Lynn was actually, so one of the problem was, of course, I did Tuya convert, you know, this right off the bat, because I was kind of wanted to see if, you know, hey, I think the switch was like, appreciate it. the switch was like, I want to say the FCC documents on it were like in January. And so I was like, oh, it's probably going to be one of the products that has the new firmware on it that blocks us from Tuya Convert. So, of course, like an idiot, I just went ahead and took mine. I only had one, and went ahead and did Tuya Convert on it. Boom. So I got it. Then it would work. I thought it worked fine in Tasmota. It was, and I never noticed that the red LED was blinking on and off until Lynn said something in Discord. And also, so I plugged mine back up, and I hadn't installed it yet, and saw the same exact thing. So, but without, the big problem was without the stock firmware, there has to be some command that because the way this dimmer works is unlike the Martin Jerry dimmer or those Tesson dimmers where you can control everything yourself, and the ESP does all the work. Well, with the Tuya dimmer module, it's actually, there's another microcontroller on there. Kind of think of it as two ESP8266s, but one of them doesn't have Wi-Fi. So it does a better job at dimming than the ESP8266 does. You would think they would just use an ESP32 and do away with having to do two of them, but it seems like the cost would be lower. But maybe not. So the ESP8266 with Tasmota actually connects just with serial RX and TX, and actually sends packets back and forth to, yeah, exactly, Will. It sends those packets to that microcontroller and says, hey, turn off, turn on, dim to this level, dim to that level. But then it's also Tasmota receives, because I implemented that later before I did that pull request on it and put the first one, is like, so if you hold down the button for 5 seconds, because the button's actually tied to that secondary microcontroller, and we don't flash that one. So, yeah, exactly, Tony. So if you hold down 5 seconds, it sends a packet and says, hey, reset, like put in pairing mode. So what I did in Tasmota is had it reset the Wi-Fi and go into access point mode. So that you could, put your different SSID and password on it. Well, there's some command that on this newer one that is not getting. And so it's that secondary microcontroller is thinking it's in AP mode all the time. So what I was going to do is take this one apart, kind of go old school. I know we were doing all this Tuya Convert stuff still, but I was going to take this one apart, take a look at it, and hook up some RX and TX lines to it, and hopefully don't smoke anything, because last time I know this is not a good thing, so don't try this. But I had to do it with the first one. Was actually had to power the device using mains power, plus have it tied up using RX TX with hooked to USB. Don't try that, I promise you, because I was trying to figure out the Martin Jerry's when I first did that, and yeah, and the smoke did come out, and it did only reboot my laptop. So luckily it didn't blow any USB ports. So, so we'll see what this one is. We'll try to fit this in with the camera and the green screen, and because it's on the side, and we'll see how this works out for us. So, but I know some of y'all are interested in, let's see, I noticed on the Tuya, because I did pair it, and I always thought I was going to try to update first thing. So, I don't know if you can see without my ring light. Yeah, Tony. That's what I want to try to do is just see if we can pull just the module out and try to power both without you having to use mains power or not. So it's some of the cool things. I'm gonna turn this other light out here. Shoot, it's short press, not long press. Did I turn that one off? Sure did. So let me pull this off of here too. That's making a glare, a little protective thing. So it's upside down. I think they want you to mount it more like this. Let's see if we can get it at an angle. But it's kind of cool that now you can't, one thing you can't do, and I'm sorry about being out of frame here at the bottom here, but I'll try to just make myself a little smaller here anyway. You can see it has the multi-segmented lights on it, and it actually shows what the brightness was set at before, because it's in the off mode right now. And you may not be able to see it on the camera, but the LED at the bottom is kind of doing a breathing type thing. It's fading in and out. That's the Treatlife one. The link is actually just probably 6 or 7 messages above it. Don't turn it on, tear it apart. Yeah, I will. I just want to kind of show you it does work before we tear it apart. So it's kind of neat when you do turn it on. You can see it gives a little animation, a little lights turn, walk up it and they walk down as you turn it on and off. And the one advantage, which I did say in that testing video, was, of course, you can quickly just jump to the exact point you want because of the capacitive touch, but you can't do the, like the long press actions, short press actions to, do anything else like you can. So, what's up, Doc? So I'm not sure why. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna get this unplugged, and we'll take this sucker apart, and we'll see if I can somewhat stay in frame and not be totally out of frame. So, oh, look, I forgot. I want to show. I think Will's probably curious with the firmware. The firmware shows something weird. So it didn't do an update on this one. I took it out and hooked it up today, and when I do check for firmware update, I don't know if we can see. I may have to change the autofocus here. It shows that Wi-Fi module, and it shows like a date for the MCU module, which I thought was weird. It doesn't show like that 1.05 or that switch. Everybody's asking again, like I think they missed it. Let's see. It's that Treatlife, the Treatlife switch that I showed in the testing video, and yeah, it shows like MCU module 033 Jan 14134247. And like I say, I haven't tried Tuya convert on this one because I don't want to yet, but I will do. I will once I figure out what that different command is. I will figure out what to do with the. I want to try Tuya convert on this one. And it just says there's no firmware update available. So I got it unplugged here. Let me take it out of. We'll turn this light back on. Move the soldering iron. And pull this out of here. It's so nice having those WAGO. I need to watch that video and figure out how they say the. I think it'll do incandescent, Doc. Yeah, we'll do 400 watts incandescent. But so let's see if we can get closer to it. WAGO, okay. Yeah, the WAGO's, Jim, I appreciate it. We were talking about the WAGO at the beginning, and how I was the holdout on not doing the WAGO connectors, and now after I did one box with like it was with 3 gang. It had a 3-way in it, and it had 2 dimmers in it, and it had one junction coming in, and it had another junction going to another plug, and it had a lot going on. It was so much easier with the WAGO connectors, being able to fit it all in the box. So yeah, I did buy me a box of the box of the 5s and the 3s. So I got a bunch of downlights to throw in. So I'm not going to be able to stay on frame probably with this and stay in, but so this one, I haven't taken this apart. I've looked at a few photos on the FCC's website, but they don't show a whole lot on. They're more interested like in the Wi-Fi module in it and such. So, but this metal plate is probably the MOSFET right under it, and they usually put like some. I saw one of the other dimmers was like this with the segmented display. So I kind of look on the chat every once in a while, but I can't do both, so I need an assistant, right? Yeah, so this one just slides up off of here. And they didn't use. Okay. There isn't any paste on it or anything. I've seen them use on the other one on that. I know it's made by Kesson, but it had the segmented display on the front. It had it's kind of the same little design, so it's more of a thermal pad they put on here, kind of like I've seen on some of the Raspberry Pi stickers, like they put on the little heat sinks to the Raspberry Pis. So I bet you at this point we should be able to pop the front off. I don't know if you can kind of see in there. There is the that same little Tuya module we're familiar with. In most of these switches that you can see, the ground just passes straight through. And it actually, this one just passes straight through and is connected to this plate right here. So I'm going to see if I can use the trusty old. Yeah, you can do incandescent LED and CFL. I think it says 150 watt CFL, 150 watt LED, and 400 watt incandescent. So I think that's kind of like some of the other Martin Jerry ones and stuff I've seen as well. Let's see if I can cut myself open right on a camera, right? Two clips. Oh, that lens here. 2 clips on either side of the faceplate. Are they inside? I guess you've taken yours apart, huh, Lynn? I still see inside. You talking about the clip inside right here? Or I've just pried these things apart on the bottom and the top, and they've came right off using the top. Let's see if I can get this. It might take Doc a little bit to get here. I'm good little drive for him, right? We'll chat amongst ourselves, right? You ever see me bleed out? But see, y'all don't know all my information like y'all do Doc, you know, like his phone number and all that good stuff. But I'm sure somebody will dig it up one day, right? Let's see if I can get without tearing this up. Yeah. There we go. All right. I just didn't want to break it and snap things off. So yeah, here the green just passes on through. Oh, they're using a little different Tuya module in here. Huh, okay. So it looks like kind of the same design they used in the, now I don't know about the power supply and the dimming and all that inside. Secret. The front face plate should just unplug. If I don't slide it off. All right. And this is usually a little door. I'm going to see where that plugs in on the bottom. Now, it ain't my birthday yet. Try this. This is a little different connector on the ribbon cable. They're using, the last one had a little door that slides in. I don't know if that's permanent or not. Yeah, it's the T. I'll see if I can get the gray tabs. The gray tabs slide out, not permanent. Look at the lens all. Let me get a closer shot of it for you. Let me fix the, hold up one second. I'll fix the autofocus at the same time. Yeah, I don't know, Will's probably already Googling the TYW, yeah, TYWE1S. The slide towards outside the plastic under the ribbon. Get a small flathead to wiggle the gray tab edges. Yeah, I do have a small flathead. So let's see. They slide to the right. They slide, since you took it apart already, do they slide? Let's see if I can get it correct. Does this, there's two gray tabs. The tab on the right, it slides up, or does it slide to the right, Lynn? And I know this is the other ribbon cable that goes to the face, but I probably won't, I won't have to unhook that one. I just have to unhook this one. Hey, what's up, Glenn? I'm here. I'm just off to the side. About to look, pull down and current slide down. Pretty sure the gray tabs would slide away from the socket, so down. And this, everybody's saying the different things. It looks like, let's see. Oh, those little, these the little black tabs, it looks like. Ah, I got you. I see the design. They're little, the little black looking tabs, and they pull down, and then it comes right out. Gotcha. So that just holds tension on it. Okay, cool deal. Yep. Yeah. So there's just to show. I thought those are kind of neat. Um, these were just slid up. I just pulled them straight down to slide that thing out. So yeah, it's a little different than the ones on the previous version that had the little door that flipped up. So so what do we have here? Let me see what I can find. So we've got a pin that says DAT, one that's clock. So this can come off. Yeah, this can come off. This is just, if I gotta make sure I don't lose the springs. This is just the button under here. So if we want to solder to this thing and let me slide up a little bit. So we're going to take this off without, hopefully not losing any of the screws. And then, what time is it now? 9:38. Okay. Just don't know if I'll get, might have to find the soldering pin out of it and see if we can do some sniffing on the RX and TX with it paired up. Let me see if I don't lose any springs here and how this goes back together. Oh, cool. Okay, so it's all just together. I'm not going to lose any screws. So, yeah, the Idaho Joe, you appreciate the Tuya convert after this. This one actually hasn't been too bad. I bet that segmented one has got a little more to it than that. And we haven't even soldered it yet. Looks like it just says DAT clock. Looks like it's chopped off. I don't know if you can see on the camera. It says DAT clock, res, ground, and 3v3. Yeah, Idaho Joe, this is basically actually laugh. Well, someone was talking about one USB microscope. I do have one coming, so I thought it was a pretty good price, and I was like, "Ooh, I gotta have one of those." So someone was talking about it on Discord, and it was I don't know, it was like 20, 30 bucks or something like that. So, let's see. We need to find a pinout on that sucker. It looks like yours is reversed as well. What are you talking about reversed, Lynn? Let's see. Yeah, they're not. Looks like they're, well, you think this is RX and TX, so it's just going to have probably, just ground, 3 volts, RX, TX. I wonder what they're using for the 5th pin. So, because in this, the way with the Tuya module, the Tuya dimmers, the ESP8266 doesn't do much. It's kind of a dumb pipe. So let's take a look at Did anybody find the so it's the TYWE1S. Let me minimize this so I can see what I'm doing here. Hey, Matheson, we're not doing the Tuya convert thing because we're not going to flash it just yet. We have to do some sniffing. Need the stand too, aluminum alloy. Okay, yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. Well, I didn't know it didn't come with the stand. No, I just got to hit approve on it. So, Tuya actually has. Let's see. Yeah, Tuya's actually got some decent on their. You'd be surprised on some of their docks. Let me copy that. Paul pasted one. That's the one we're looking for. So look, there it is. There's the 5 pins right here. There's VCC, TX, RX, 3v3, and ground. So it's see they're using U1 TX, which is Wiki Tuya Dimmer, which is kind of like one they did on the Costco one. And look, yeah, look, they're using the same TY1S module. See, it uses U1 TX, which is GPIO 15, U1 RX, which is probably UART. RX GPIO 13, and that's the ones you have to change. But so GPIO 0 is the last on the same side. Yeah, and we're gonna need U0 TX and RX. How bad are they gonna be able to get to? Probably 3 volts, Jim, I would assume. Yeah, because that 1 pin, let me get the close shot back on this. We'll get zoomed. We'll do full screen. Just my little arm's gonna have to stop shaking just to give it a second. Don't get sick. Don't get seasick off my little arm here. I don't know if we can not get the glare on it there. So yeah, let's see. Let's get the meter. Let's get the meter and make some noise, right? Some beeping noise. Looks like there's no solder on UX. I'm trying to follow the chat here. You can see there's no solder at U1, RX, and TX on the Tuya chip. Looks like there is, because that's the top. On the top left is, I'm looking at the screen. The top left is VCC. Yeah, and you can see it looks like those are tied together. VCC and 3v3 are tied together with the same trace. And then they're using the UART1 TX and RX. So trying to think here, like I'm thinking I'm in flash mode. We actually got this. I'm at the solder to the TX UART1 TX and RX, but then we'll probably once we figure out that packet that stops it from showing up as AP mode on the second microcontroller. I want to try and flash it until you convert. I know I did the other one, so the chip is flipped. I was thinking it might be, but it can't be though, because I did have to actually on the TY3S one. I actually had to flip that graphic around. Wish it was. This was staying. Oh, y'all talking about microscope and stuff. So let's see what. I need to do me a better setup where I can stay on camera, where you can look at the part of my bald head while I do some of this stuff. Yeah, and that's on the left. Yeah, Tony, I don't think we're gonna I'm hoping we don't have to do even flash GPIO 0. I want to just flash to, solder to, should just be able to do the 3v3 ground and the UART1 RX and TX, and we can do some sniffing with, I used real term last. So let's see what we got here. I can do this. So ground is this one, and okay, so that's ground. That one is ground. The last soldered pin, and I might just solder to these test points instead, but I might just do the chip. It's not that bad. So this one should be 3 volts along with this one here. Now it'd be cool if they broke them all out. Let's just see. What is this one tied to? Nope. So it's not tied to that. And let's see if this one is tied to that. Nope, I don't either of those. So we would have to solder to those. Upper left is pin 18 on the diagram. See, this is the diagram I'm looking at. Let me flip. This is the pin. This is the one I'm looking at. Let's slide stuff around here. Make this straight. So it looks like this actually is not flipped like the TYW13S model is. Any solder on the right side, hard to tell from this angle. Yeah, Paul somewhere sent the link to that up there, and I had to approve it. It's that one I'm looking at. Yeah. So, which that all makes sense. So because I found ground at the bottom, and then this 3v3 is here, and you can see the trace follow up and go to the top pin, and then so these two have the solder, which is it goes along with the TX and RX on the UART1, which is GPIO 13 and 15, if I remember correctly from the Tuya Dimmer docs. Yeah, 15 and 13. So, yeah, we'll close that one. So any of those chips visible under the label? No, that's actually going to be a, just like on the other ones, and I'm probably not going to say the right name. I call it the can, but it's actually probably for interference reasons to probably pass FCC certs. Is they're actually it's soldered in, and you'd have to pry off this metal. It's actually hard metal can it's in. So there you go, shield. It's probably a technical name for it. But no, you don't have to get into that shield at all. And you know, I've always wondered that with some of the other switches. They don't actually. I've seen some other switches where you just see, just like on the Sonoffs, where you see just the ESP8266 soldered right on the board, but yet they use the Tuya back in and Smart Life app, Tuya Smart Life app. The KU LED ones were like that. So I tell you what is, it's 9:53. I was planning to only do till 10. I really don't want to. If I start soldering on it, I'm not gonna stop, and that's gonna be I'm gonna want to start sniffing on it and messing with it, and we may reconvene tomorrow or something. We can solder on it. I don't know if I just want to chit chat for a few minutes here, or something else you want to see. Otherwise, I might be up till 11 o'clock messing with this switch, and I don't need to be up till 11 o'clock again when I got to get up at 5. So, yeah, we'll do it fresh. And I'll probably try to do it not at 9 again, because that's the time. I know it kind of doesn't work for some of the people in different time zones, but I can put the, yeah, we can take the screws out and look at the other side. Yeah, we can do that. So I know some people were, I had a couple people asking on the downlight stuff. I don't know if y'all saw that the video where we did the 6 downlights. We actually probably this weekend, and if y'all are chatting, I'm not looking right now. Probably this weekend we got to install 2 more downlights in that room, because after they got in the room and they wanted 2 downlights in the back, so to be 3 on each side and 2 in the back. So, but it's going to be the same thing. We're just going to add them to the same exact group. They'll be done to the same dimmers, and just give them light where they can have it in the back instead of kind of on the side in the back. And it's just for some different, because it was kind of too close to the couch. We mounted those before they even had any furniture in there. And not that the 6 are bad, but it just kind of, once you start using something, and it's worked out. So let me put this on big, and if I can focus it right. There we go. So let's see if we cannot tear anything up when we do this. It should pull up. Anyway, I could just rewind the video and saw how it went together, right? So it looks like on the bottom there's that one board. It just lets the light go through, and there's actually the LEDs. Yeah, all the status LEDs, and then there's the little booger of the red and white LED that was causing all this trouble. And there's some little microcontroller at the top. Yeah, Doc, I did put this one on the calendar. So, so let's see. I wonder if that's. Let me zoom in. And sorry about making you seasick. I definitely need that microscope now. I don't want to pull the foam away. I'll have to see if I can get the numbers. Looks like C, I gotta read it upside down. C, Y, B, C4, 1, 2. I believe is what that is. I don't know if everybody wrote that down, or can you take off the connector at the back? Yeah, we could do that. We might actually have to. Now that I know how to take these off, right? So let's see. How close can we get? I know it's upside down for some, but just turn your monitors upside down. I know I pulled it out of frame. I'm trying to see the thing again. Yeah, it's CYBC412 on the top. It might just be some sort of microcontroller to do the lights on the LEDs on the front. Yeah, I think I CYBC412. What I said? Unless it's a 4. No, that's a 412. CYBC412. And then it looks like the next line is 4LQ1 543 or something, or S43. I don't know if we can see it on, if I can get enough light on it here. I don't think I can get enough light on it. Let's see. And let me fix the focus here. Let me drag this to my other screen. It'd be easier to do it that way. There we go. You see it now? We just use the camera instead of my old eyes, right? So I may have been C8. So you know the B's and the H's look the same. So I don't think that's going to be the microcontroller that does the dimming. That one's going to be on the bottom of the dimmer itself. So, yeah. And it is S4. I bet you that's just going to be probably for the light, for the doing the animation junk on the front. So we got time. So let's do. Let me fix this. Let's take apart. Let me put these with this over here and over here. is on the bottom of here. Let's pull this out. I'll definitely have to probably rewatch this backwards. Listening to myself backwards. All right, Lewis. Hold up. I gotta see a link. I gotta approve there, Paul. So let's see. Let's pull the whole power supply out of this sucker, because I'm curious to see what other microcontroller runs on the bottom of here. And that was my same issue that I had on the previous model when I had, like when I said to don't do the thing what I had to do was hook it to mains and USB at the same time. So let's see if I got all the screws out here. Yeah, that's my meter beeping at me, telling me I left it on. So to get this out of here, just like on that segmented display, I had to bend the MOSFET up. This is that Treatlife Dimmer, Matheson. We're trying to decide to just take the whole thing apart, just to have fun, I guess. And hadn't taken it, you know, I missed taking some stuff apart after the whole Tuya convert stuff. But basically, we're trying to, I got to get one packet out of it that tells that microcontroller to stop blinking the red LED when it's on. And short term, will end up being probably a fix with a pull request to the Tuya driver in Tasmota. So if I can get this out of here. Yes, I know I left you on, meter. Let's see if I can get it out of here without breaking a cap off or something. There we go. Huh. I might be wrong. Pull this out of here. So what you found, Jim? Yeah, I don't think you can on the WeMo switches. I think that uses a RTL link or something like that. So the MOSFET, so I know people are probably curious. It says, we get enough light here. Looks like BTA 31660ET, but I don't see that other. So that might be the other microcontroller. Is actually that thing on the other side. See, there was in the original one there was a if I'm saying it right, Nuviton. And it had you could actually see it. It was this one in the let's see. Yeah, it was this one here. I don't know if you can see it. It was this little chip. It was a Nuviton chip that was the secondary microcontroller. Crypto miners and botnets on the TP links. Okay. Well, they just need to keep it local, right? And put ESP Home or Tasmota on it. So that other chip has to be the one, unless it's I don't think it's this chip right here. How long does it take the Wemo to boot? That's some sort of LM. That's some part of the LM358 or 356. That sounds like a power chip for part of the power supply. I know this one is. That's that AMS power supply. So dead end there, but yeah. So tomorrow what we'll do is yeah, that's what I was thinking. That voltage regulator. There you go, op amp. He's some smarter people than me, right? So, yeah, any electrical engineers? The LM3. So that's not it. These are all going to be part of the power, which that's fine. So what's the op amp do? So come on, y'all got to be quick. Google it quick. Let's see who can answer it faster. Yeah, the TP link, I want to say that was using some like Realtek or RTL link chipset. I couldn't think of the word there. That's kind of like optical amplifier. There you go. That sounds good to me. That I was playing with I got these these LED strips. I was kind of disappointed because now they are cool because they're like WS2812s but they don't have any ESP chip in them. Let's see if I can plug them in. I'll just throw this before I go. There's no ESP chip in them, and there's no open API to them. There's no ports open on them. You have to control them using the app, and it go. You know, of course, they're like voice activated type things. They're I'm trying to think what they were. They Groovy or something sent them to me, but I was hoping to play with, let's see, where are they at? Yeah, so Groovy sent them to me, and I was hoping to actually put them in Home Assistant, but I opened them up, and of course you can see it goes with, I don't know how in sync the voice is to here. But it's supposed to be for like going like music and stuff. They've got a little microphone on the side, and you can actually do little animations with them and stuff. But I wanted, of course, I wanted to open it up instead of playing with some LED strips. I just wanted to. We'll see how. Let's see. Built-in. Cut the built-in, yeah. See, that was exactly, I was like, well, I could always, you know, tell them, you know, look, is just take it and cut the strip off. That's about all it's worth to me. It is a waterproof strip, and I think they're 12-volt lights. But if y'all wanted to see the inside of this thing, how it ticks, let's see if we can get a little close thing, and we'll do last little. I'll fix the zoom here, and let's see which way we need to be based on the chips. Should be about like this, I'm thinking. And let's see. Where's my zoom? Where's my focus? Focus, 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 Travis. I do have to give it to him. It has a little flash header on it, like you say. I wonder if we can flash this thing. That's what I'm kind of curious of. Let me zoom in to, because it looks like the same. There's another little header on the side that's not. That might just be like a test. I don't know if that was another little header is for flashing or not. Or let's see. Let me zoom into these, and so I wonder if we could flash. I could flash these things. Yeah, I'm gonna fix the focus here. Slow your roll. So there's the chips, and I recognize that little the little crab, little crawfish from like the sound cards and stuff on different computers. I forgot the exact brand of it, but Realtek. There you go, Jim. Yeah. So it's, yeah, look like URX, UTX, and then they say MCU, that's microcontroller, another TX and RX. So it's kind of, the strip was decent, but I'm like, I was disappointed. I was like, I was really hoping that they had a ESP32 in here, or ESP8266, and you can tell that's this can on the left here, right there. That's the microphone for this thing, because it has a hole right on the side of it, and it just on the other side. There's just 3 buttons on it, like a mode, brightness, and then off. Yeah, the condenser mic. So yeah, it looks like there's. Wonder why they have it labeled as RGB. Maybe I wonder isn't WS2812s. Unsoldered, yeah, and put a 3.5 jack, huh? So they probably use this board for something else because they're missing the little transistors right here. Yeah, Shane, there is. I'm glad you said that. Is that the Bluetooth chip or which one is the Bluetooth? Because I noticed that the app, it uses Bluetooth, but then you do pair it with Wi-Fi. But it seemed like it wanted to control over. It does work with I'll say the different names: Amazon Voice Assistant and Google Voice Assistant. Just have to pair them. Okay, so that's the Bluetooth chip, and this must be what they're using for the processing. So I'm kind of curious what these LEDs are then. Wi-Fi for data gathering, huh? Yep. So, yeah, and they do look pretty cool, and they work pretty cool with music, but it seems limited to me. But I guess we're not the target market. Here's what the LEDs look like, and I guess that's, yeah. And there's just a data. If you see, that's just 12 volt, and it says D out and D in and ground. These have to be standard WS2812 or something like that, because they're just RGBs. They're not RGBWs. And of course, there's the sticker on the back. Yeah, it's just I don't know if I can. Yeah, that's the little stickers on the back of it. Yeah, they look like that's kind of what it looked like to me, because they were, the waterproof style, where you can kind of see on the camera here, but and they're just, I want to say they're just RGB. They might, I don't know, y'all probably more familiar with some LEDs more than me. They may be just RGB and not RGBW. ever since I've now messed around with RGBW, it's kind of like one of the things you don't want to go back to regular, just regular RGB. So, but enough of that little guy there. I was kind of disappointed in it, and I can't. I'll put them back together later, again, instead of wasting y'all's time. So what we'll do is this guy. Hopefully we can reconvene tomorrow. Yeah, they are individually addressable because it's supposed to. I don't know. It's supposed to go with like music, and you set it with music, and it looks pretty cool. I had them rolled out on the floor and had music playing, and it would kind of cycle back and forth and change colors and brightnesses and etc. with the music. So, but I was hoping that those would be flashable, but they're not, and of course it has that Bluetooth thing with it as well. But I'm kind of curious to see if there's anything else that might be able to flash them, but. Of course, you wouldn't be able to put any of the open source stuff that we're using for ESP8266s or 32s like ESP Home or whatever. So, if we're going to go tomorrow, yeah, not yet, then we'll just pretty much stop it here unless someone else has something. They got like a dying thing that I missed somewhere. Nothing on the back side of the circuit board. Which one? Which circuit board, Sir Goodenough? QuinLED Digital. They just replaced with MC. Yeah, see, I'm messing. I'm going to do, Paul, is just like, hey, I'll keep the LED strip and just cut off the little controller because it's if you can't integrate it into like Home Assistant or Node-RED or whatever, like that's just not what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything cloud and have to go through someone else. And I was even thinking, like, how would you even get Home Assistant to talk to that? The only way I could think to do it was that if you have to go, I think I saw someone else do it, so it's not my idea, is I'd have to get, like, use TTS from, like, Google Home to, I'm struggling with I don't want to say the name, with the Amazon voice assistant to tell it to do something through Home Assistant. So it kind of definitely go around the world through both voice assistants, then to their app to tell it to do something. So yeah, definitely I'd use a Node MCU or Wemos or something like that. So yeah, like I say, Idaho, we're not the target market for that thing. That's designed for, average Joe who just wants to buy something off Amazon, plug it in the wall, it hooks to Wi-Fi, they pull up the app, and they just stick it to the wall. And that's kind of what and so that's what they're paying that for. And then, of course, we know we could throw something together and do, throw ESP Home on it or whatever, firmware you wanted on it. So, how does a noob get into HASS.io with Tasmota since ESP Home isn't working? So those fake color bulbs. Oh, so those are pretty simple to do, actually. And I did see on the ESP Home, there was someone talking about, there was actually a thread on, I just Googled it and found it, on the Home Assistant forums, and someone posted their ESP Home configuration, but it comes up as 2 lights on those Fate bulbs. Fate, I don't know, I'm going to mess it up no matter what. They had it working fine because that SM16716 that's on there, it is supported by ESP Home, but it's not just one light like in Tasmota. So let's see. Let me flip back over here and I'll tell you. I do have a configuration that I linked. If you use, let's see, I'll send the link here in a second. Once we flip back over. So those are gonna be 5-channel lights. So there's one that I've done here. Oh look, there, Fiat. Okay. I'll try to remember that one. It's definitely not Fate and definitely Fiat. So it's Fiat. I remember that, but they're saying they got to charge you something. I don't know why it gave me the error on that one, but I tried to post that link. It doesn't like that link for some reason. I don't know if it's the hashtag in it or something, or let's see. But you could also, if you're into doing the, it does not like my links at all. Blocking my own links. You could use the auto discovery. That would work as well. The set option 19 in MQTT. Yeah, I know, Will. See, and had data to dream about tonight. So there was also someone else that was doing a pull request to do with those bulbs I saw as well on ESP Home. So so if you're having issues with Desert Garden, hit me up later. I can try to help you out tomorrow sometime. And before the live stream or something, even during the day when I get time, send me a message on Discord and I'll try to help you out. Look, I missed Will's thing, Fiat. So it's everybody saying Fiat. All right. Well, it is almost 10:30 my time, and if we want to do this again tomorrow and see how we do some RX and TX sniffing with real term, I'm gonna cut this one loose, and we will reconvene tomorrow. So I appreciate everyone hanging out, and y'all take care and have a good evening. Have a good day. Earlier for the East Coast folks. Unfortunately, no, because my son goes to bed at 8:30-ish, and so about 9 o'clock is when I can start. I'll try to start a little earlier, though. We'll see. So, all right, good night, everybody. Let's see.